Yeah, your hair's cut?
Fuck yeah. Let's do it. I look for it.
We cut your hairs?
I need to look 37.
We cut your hairs or what, dude? Should we cut them? Okay, we'll cut them, okay? I'm Patrick and Holt. This is Elizabeth's Barbershop in St. Paul, Minnesota. I invented the haircut in 1396. We're going to do a pompadour today. There's a million different ways to do a pompadour. I don't really know shit. I'm going to just show you one of the million ways. It's a pretty easy way to do a pompadour. I always kind of tell my guys, I do it in 4 steps. A, B, C, D. It's kind of like a roadmap. There's a million different ways to get from A to B to C to D. I don't give a shit which way you go. I'm just going to show you one of the ways. We're going to start by wetting the hair very thoroughly. I have a little bit of water and a little bit of the hair tonic in my water, kind of refresh the scalp and the hair. We've got Bobcat here, aka Bobby Kitties. He's just got legendary hair.
It smells so good.
You smell good. They're gonna be like, fuck this guy.
I like it.
So, as I said, A to B to C to D. Step A, we are going to cut in a baseline. B, we're going to connect the top. Then we're going to blow dry, which is C. And the final step, we're going to refine the haircut. I'm going to start by finding the part line. I'm going to do a straight line on the round head at the natural recession, if you can find the hairline here. I'm not going to go super short on the sides, and I'm not going to go super long either. It's just going to kind of be right in between there. As I said, there's a million different ways to cut in a baseline. I don't give a shit which way you choose. I like clip over comb, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to start at the widest point of the head. It's usually right behind the ear. You can feel it there. It's going to be my initial cut and kind of the guide that I follow. I'm going to pick the hair up, kind of determine the length to which I want to cut it. This is just kind of like a rough draft for me, getting rid of the hair that I don't want, keeping the hair that I want. I'm not quite sure what we'll do with the sideburn, so I'm going to just leave it alone for now. You always want to stay in front of your work. I always try to work right out from my sternum. If I was to be cutting this section, I don't want to be doing this. I'm going to slide my feet and get directly in front of what I'm cutting. Once we have the baseline somewhat cut in there, you can kind of see what I'm creating here. I'm going to take my shears and just kind of subtly clean up that line. Like I said, there's a million different ways to do this. You can do it with your shears, you can do it with guard, you can do a clip over comb. I don't give a shit. One isn't better than the other. They're just different. Slightly elevating, just retain a little more length, just a little bit. Once you've got that where you want it, I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side. It's important to make sure the hair is evenly wet. If I cut it soaking wet on one side and just kind of damp on the other, it's going to be different. Make sure you're paying attention to that. Again, we're going to find the part line off the natural recession.
You want to check to make sure Bob's alive? Make sure he's alive. Okay, he's good. You good?
It's really important when you're doing clip over comb to always kind of make sure you're not doing this when you're creating the guy and you have this really fucked up line. I always try to kind of put my finger on his head. It's just going to help keep things more stable. Starting at the widest point right behind the ear. Clean up the initial baseline with my shears.
Slightly elevated. Retain the same amount of tension on each section.
Baseline is cut in. Now to connect. Now that we have our baseline cut in, I'm going to connect. So we did A, and now we're going to B. As I said, there's a million different fucking ways to do each step. But I always tell my guys, if you loosely follow this roadmap, A to B to C to D, you're going to probably get a very similar result. I'm going to thoroughly wet the hair again. I'm not a very bright guy, so it makes most sense to me to kind of always structure the work. I'm going to start by connecting the back, the top, and then the front. To connect the back to the baseline, I'm going to find the bone behind his ear, the mastoid bone, the widest point of his head, and I'm going to part it ear to ear over the apex. I like to break it up into sections, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to start by combing the hair, pulling it over to the baseline. You're going to be able to see the baseline underneath there, and I will connect. comb this all back, you're gonna just see this nice blend there. Sometimes it might seem like you're only taking a little bit of hair, and that's okay, because if you treat it like that throughout the whole haircut.
It's just attention to detail. I will do the same thing on the other side. Take my first section, comb my hair, connect it to the baseline. I was checking for the baseline underneath.
Did you hear that, Bob?
Yeah.
Fucking sealant's falling apart. Lastly, I'm going to comb everything down now that I've connected it loosely. I'm going to draw everything to one side and then everything to the other side.
Just kind of getting the tips, just the tip, okay? Just the tip, Bob. Okay.
Now I got everything connected to the baseline there in the back. I'm going to check my work. I like how it looks. Probably could be better if I was a better barber. Next, we're going to start by connecting the middle section. I'm going to leave the front part, that's kind of the fun part of the hair, connect that last. You kind of already see the shape of what I'm going for. See the haircut under the hair. All right, now I'm going to connect the middle section. I'm going to thoroughly wet the hair again, just make sure it's evenly wet.
Can I say I like it wet?
Just like we created the part line off of his natural recession here, I'm going to find this one, and I'm going to do the same thing from the natural recession to the highest point of his head. I'm going to comb all that fun hair out of the way. I'm going to go up the line a little bit. I'm going to come and pull directly towards my chest. That first section, I'm going to pull it down. And it's going to show me my baseline right underneath. You're going to be able to see all the hair there that you need to cut to connect it. Keeping equal tension on the hair. When I comb it back, I'm going to see this nice blend there. I'm going to go further up my part and grab my next section. When I comb it back, I'm going to see that nice blend that I'm looking for. section, which will be my last for this side at the highest point. Next I'm going to move to connect this front part on this side to the baseline. I'm going to follow the same part that I did here. Directly from my chest, I'm going to push away. I'm going to pull this hair down. And I'm going to see my guide there. I'm going to subtly angle it down and connect. You're going to see how that all is beginning to flow into what I previously cut. I'm going to go further up that part line and grab my next section directly out. And it's going to show me the hairs that I need to connect. I'm good. I'm going to angle it down. And connect. When I comb this all back, you're going to start to see how it's all connected there. I'm going to go further up the part line, grab my next section.
And do the same thing.
Just a little bit of hair. It may seem pointless, but it's not. I'm good. Now when I comb it all back, you're going to see what I've created there. See that starting to take shape how I want it. And I will repeat the same thing on the other side. I'm going to follow the natural recession, do a diagonal part to the highest point of his head, the apex, and repeat the same steps.
I'm taking my first section. Check my baseline underneath and connect. Next section. I'm going to comb it down. It's going to show me exactly where I need to cut and connect. Equal tension. As they relax, they're part of your work. When I comb it back, I'm going to get that nice blend that I'm looking for. The highest point, my last section. Comb it back.
I'm going to check the mirror. I got everything flowing how I want it. Now I'm going to connect that front section, the fun part of the hair again, the same exact way that I did the other side.
I'm going to take my first section in my chest and just go right away from me.
It's going to show me exactly where my guide is. I'm going to subtly angle the hair downward and connect.
On the beach. I'm going to go that same far line. Next section. I'm going to look for my guide. I'm going to slowly angle it and connect. Following the baseline, just in a little bit of a downward position. Next section. I'm going to look for my guide. And connect to mold. I can see the haircut starting to take shape, what I'm looking for.
And we will move on to step C, the blow dry, my lord. So quick recap, we did step A, like I said, it's a roadmap, A, B, C, D. It's really simple for stupid people like me, okay? We got the baseline in, did the same thing on the other side. Went to step B, connecting the top. I like to start with the back, then the middle, and then the front. We've done that. Step 3 is a really important step. We're gonna blow dry using the Russo Grooming Tonic. You're gonna apply somewhat generously from root to tip and blow dry. You're gonna start by blow drying it hot, and as you kind of get the shape that you want, you're gonna lock it in by hitting it with the cold air.
I'm going to really work it in there.
I'm gonna blow dry using a vent brush below. This allows the air and the hot air to pass through. I said the air and the hot air, it's the same fucking thing. It's gonna allow the air to pass through as I blow dry. I'm gonna start by blow drying the hair from root to tip, and then side to side, a little lift. Blow drying is a really important step. I think it's often overlooked by barbers, especially stateside. You're gonna sometimes feel like you're fucking blow drying until you're blue in the face, and keep doing it. You don't want one side dry and one side damp, and that can happen pretty easily. I've kind of got the shape on one side that I'm looking for. I'm going to switch it to cold, and I'm going to lock it in. same thing on the other side. Want to switch hands with the blow dryer. As I'm blow drying, I'm kind of looking for weight as well. Looking where it's heavy, looking at what I'm gonna do next. Remember, the blow drying is step C. The last and final step is gonna be to refine the haircut once I kind of get it in the shape that I want. I'm gonna switch to cold air, lock in this side, and then finish by blow drying the back.
I'm going to switch to the back now and blow dry this last part.
People always ask me when I'm blow drying hair, doesn't that burn the client? No, it's not going to burn the client as long as you continually move your blow dryer. If I'm going to just put it on fucking high heat and hold it here, yeah, I'm going to burn the shit out of the guy. Don't do that. Just keep it moving constantly. Have confidence in yourself, and just keep moving the blow dryer. I'm going to take my pick and I'm going to see what we've done. Hopefully it's not complete shit. Complete shit. I like it. Checking it out. Pretty satisfied. You can see that the hair is evenly dried. Now we will refine the haircut. I'm going to finish out. I'm going to go pretty tight on the nape, I think. I think I'm going to kind of go old school with the sideburns here and do a point. But just really kind of refine the haircut for our last step. Alright, now we're going to refine the hair. I want to go tight on the nape. There's a couple ways you can do it. You can use guards, you can use shears. I'm going to clip over comb it. One isn't better than the other, they're just fucking different, okay? With Bob's hair, I like to clipper over comb it. Again, I'm always in front of my work. If I'm tapering this side, I shouldn't be leaning doing this. That is bullshit, you will hurt your back. Just take one step over and be in front of your work all the time. Bob will attest to how often I yell at him for posture. It's also super easy when you're fading and tapering. Obviously, we're not doing some fucking tight fade here, but it's easy to get fixated on what you're doing, so it's good to kind of step back and look at what you're creating. Check the mirror, it's your best friend. It can look good to the naked eye, and then you look in the mirror and you're like, holy smokes, I messed up. I'm kidding, not that you messed up, but it'll show you exactly where you need to cut. I think I want to go a little tighter around the ears, so that's what I'm going to do, okay? I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now that I've got the nape nice and tight exactly how I want it, I see the shape, it's flowing with the head, I'm happy with it. I'm going to take my blending shear and kind of pull out some weight in certain spots and just kind of refine the finished product. Nice and tight. Like I said, I'm going to use my blending shear. I'm going to pull out some weight, add a little texture. Just makes the hair kind of like sticky almost. It's going to be easier for him to manage. I'm going to start by just going right into it. Not taking out too much. It's always kind of less is more.
So you got real nice flow there. Just hitting the tips.
I'm going to do the same for the top. I'm going to kind of follow the same sections I did when the hair was wet. moving a little bit of weight. Or retaining the length. I'll let it rest on my fingers. Step. Pull some of the weight up.
Next section. Step. Now repeat the same process.
Kind of rested on my fingers there. Slightly lifting. Keeping that length, we're pulling out some of the weight. I'm going to repeat the same steps on the other side.
The blending chair, I'm always opening and closing it faster than I'm moving my comb. So sitting the dips. Following the same sections, I'm going to take my first section. Do the same thing I did on the other side. Next section. Following the same steps as I did on the
Other side. Just pulling out some of the weight, not too much. Less is more. You don't want to fuck up the work that you just did. You can see just a little amounts of hair that I'm taking out.
Did you remember your call? Next section.
This is Bobcat, by the way. He's like a real deal greaser. This fucking guy's got 13 motorcycles. He could build you a house. He could fix your H fucking back. He can pretty much do anything. This is not a haircut I would give to just some random Joe Blow. Not that the rest of my clients are Joe fucking Blows, but the haircut should be fitting for the personality.
Just pulling out a little bit of weight, keeping the length.
kind of be able to get the haircut to move how you want it to at this point. You should be able to run your pick through the hair without really meeting any resistance. If you haven't, it's not blended right. There's still more work to do then, my lords.
Really happy with the shape?
I think I'm going to tie it all together now with doing the outline. Alright, now that we've blended a lot of the hair, I got it kind of sitting how I'm going to do it. I'm going to outline the hair around the ears. I'm going to give them kind of pointed sideburns just for fun. I think that looks cool on Bob. This is one of the easiest parts of the haircut. Also one of the most important to me. A lot of people kind of half-ass the outline, and it's one of the simplest things. If you're gonna fucking take the easy way with the simple things, in my opinion, you're gonna do the same thing throughout the haircut, and what's the fucking point then? You don't wanna do like these crazy ass outlines. Just follow the natural of the hair. Obviously, I'm gonna break my own rule a little bit by doing a pointed sideburn in the front, but everything behind the ear and in the nape, keep that as natural as possible. You're gonna start by doing it with the trimmers, and I'm gonna put some talc powder behind his ear and really make it pop with my razor. Again, I always try to stay directly in front of my work. If I'm gonna cut here, I don't wanna be fucking doing all this weird stuff. Slide over and do it. When you're doing your outline, you don't want to go deep into it and fuck up what we've created. You just follow what's there.
Clean the ear out if you're there. Just fucking do it.
Again, this is one of the simplest things to do for a haircut. Oftentimes it's skipped over or not treated with the same level of care. When I'm looking at a lot of haircuts, not that my opinion matters at all, but I look often at the outline. If that's not done properly, in my mind, if the simplest thing isn't done properly, nothing is done properly. I don't need to look any further. I'll repeat the same thing on the other side. Not creating some unnatural ass line here in the nape. I want it as wide as possible, as natural as possible.
Not cutting into my previous work. Just following the line. The natural line.
Alright, now lastly, to really clean up and make the outline pop, I'm going to put a little talc powder on my brush. We're not supposed to do that here in the States, just use a brush, so don't fucking tell anybody, okay? Remember, we're breaking the law.
Bandits.
I'm going to put a little bit of powder behind his ear. It's going to make the blade that much smoother when I go around. Doesn't matter if you spill some, because we're going to clean that shit up. Good? I don't think there's really a right way or a wrong way to do a haircut. They're just all fucking different. I used to get caught up on that super hard, and then as my horizons expanded, so did my idea of how to cut hair. I've got the powder there behind his ear.
I'm gonna just go right up to the part. I'm sorry, the contour. I'm gonna pull his ear down, stretch it a little. You really want to make sure to stretch the skin there so you don't cut.
And repeat on the other side. Now the last thing I'm going to do before I put pomade in his hair, I'm going to comb it, see how everything's looking, see how everything feels. Happy. I'm going to take my clipper and I'm going to freehand around the shape of what we've done and just kind of get rid of some of these little itty bitty guys that aren't really doing much. Now again, there's a million different ways to cut hair. I don't think one is better than the other. I don't think one is more hard than the other. They're just all fucking different, and that's the beauty of it. If it was all the same, it would be boring. You may think this way sucks, and that's cool too. I apply this method really to all my haircuts. A, B, C, D. If I follow these roadmaps, I have a very good idea in my head of what the end result is going to be. A, create the baseline. B is connect the top. I like to do the back, the middle, the front. C, I'm going to blow dry. And then D, I'm going to refine it. Yeah, I'm going to step back and look. Happy with how everything looks, how everything feels. I'm going to brush them off real good, and we're going to pick a product for them. Last but not least, I'm going to style Bob's hair. I'm going to use oil-based pomade. Bob, as I said earlier in the video, he is a greaser, so he knows how to use this product. I tend to not use this on guys that are unfamiliar with pomade for a list of reasons. But Bob knows what he's doing. He knows how to work his hair. He probably knows his hair better than I do. It doesn't matter that I'm a barber. He fucking wears it every day. I'm going to do a little bit of the pink and the green oil-based pomade. I'm going to get them on my fingers like this, and I'm going to mix them in really good.
You know what that sounds like? Smells really not as good as you, dude.
We're gonna apply really fucking thoroughly. A lot of guys, when they're putting product in their hair, they comb it exactly how they want it, and they do this. It's like putting a fucking helmet on, it does nothing. I'm gonna start with the sides and really get it in there. Styling hair can take just as much time to learn as it is to use your clippers and your scissors and all that other shit, but it's just as important. If the guy can't do this tomorrow, or he doesn't know how to do it, it's no fucking point in giving him a haircut. As I said for Bob, this isn't a costume he puts on every day, it's who he is. He knows how to do this.
Makes it easier on my end as a barber because I don't have to kind of explain it to him every time. He kind of knows how to do the product. He knows how to style it. He knows how to
Apply it. Really want to get it in there. Start with the pick. And I'm going to start combing it into shape. You can afford to, on all your haircuts, spend a good fucking 10 minutes styling his hair. Haircut's over. It's good to continue to just comb it. You're just continuously spreading the product through the hair. You want it everywhere. If you feel a piece of hair that's dry, keep fucking going. Add a little more pomade if you need to. Again, I wouldn't use this oil-based pomade on just some guy that's not familiar with product. But someone who does his hair like this every single day, absolutely. Take my Y2 comb, just kind of get in a little bit more of those comb lines that I like. Really trying to dial it in.
I like to switch between my pick and my comb. Just really kind of dial that shape in.
Un Pompadour, my lords. One Pompadour, my lords. Again, one Pompadour. There's a million different ways to do it. This isn't the best one. It's not the only one. It's just one that makes sense to me. Hopefully you guys learned something from this video. If you didn't, sorry. I had a lot to work on as a barber, but that's the beautiful thing of it, because if I could do a perfect haircut every time, I would have nothing to chase when I wake up. Thank you for watching my video. Bye. Sorry, I'm not a very good camera guy, but this is our end result. Okay. I'm good. Hey, I'm good.